If I had a doggone pool, I could do that. That's what I'm talking about. Then I can get that tan I need. Guys, we're live. I'm excited. I'm here with Lissette Hurtado, and we are talking today about, should I buy a pool home or shouldn't I, right? Now, it's a very subjective question. There is no correct answer, right? There's probably a better answer or a worse answer depending upon the person we're dealing with. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. But Lissette, if I come up to you as a brand new buyer, you're meeting me for the first time at whatever the first showing we're ever looking at together is, and I say, my wife and I are considering pools. Is it an intelligent purchase or not? What are you going to tell me?
I think my first and most important question would be, what's more important to you? Is it the square footage and the layout of your home? Or is it ensuring you have a pool? If it's going to be the square footage and the layout, don't base it just if a home has a pool or not. There's certain things you could change about a house, square foot, layout. It's a little bit more challenging.
Yep.
And a pool you can always add.
I think that's a great point. And I'm a numbers guy. And I always like to instead of telling people this is right or this is wrong, just like you did it, lay out the choices, right? You're going to pay X amount of dollars for a house regardless, whatever that number is, 300, 400, a million, it doesn't matter. You're either going to invest in square footage, or you're going to invest in updates, or you're going to invest in a pool, or you're going to invest in a nice neighborhood. You need to decide where you want to put that money and then let the cards fall as they may. So I think that's absolutely wonderful way to look at that. I'm going to share a couple stats with you, and I want to hear your reaction to these stats. So I looked up in the last 90 days in Port St. Lucie, right? Because again, I'm a numbers nerd. So I want to look up, what are the actual numbers? Am I making money? Am I losing money? How much am I paying for this pool I might be investing in? In the last 90 days, single family homes in Port St. Lucie sold. There were 1,384, and they averaged $157.33 per square foot. So 157.33 times however many square feet you're looking at, that's what you can expect an average home in Port St. Lucie is going to go for. Now, out of those, roughly 3/4, it was 74.5%, didn't have a pool, right? They were going for $151.75 a square foot. So just a hair less. What's that? About $5.50 less a square foot than the average. But the 25.5% that had a pool were averaging $173.62 a square foot. That's considerably more. I mean, 150, that's probably about 16, 17% more, I'm guessing, just to have that pool, right? So if you're looking at a 2,000 square foot home, that's a $43,740 increase to have that pool, right? Pools in this area, if you're going with a reputable company right now, you want a screened in pool, just starting, right? So this is nothing like incredible. We're not talking about great decking or water features or anything like that. Just a normal size pool. You're starting in the mid 40s, right? At $43,740 on a 2,000 square foot home, I would say, depending upon, and it depends on so many things, because there's so many things that add value to a pool, you're paying about 70 to 90 cents on the dollar if you compare it to, hey, I'm going to put that pool in myself. So when you have that discussion with your buyers, I think it's easy for them to say, just like new construction, right? We sell new construction too. If you want to buy new construction, it's going to cost you more sometimes, especially if you're doing custom. That is the negative. The positive is I can get what I want, man. I can be picky. I can say I want a 7-bedroom, 1-bathroom home with a unicorn fountain in the middle. Like, it doesn't matter. You can get as weird as you want. It does not. Same with your pool. You can have whatever you want in your pool, but you're going to pay top dollar for it. If you go buy somebody else's, it's going to be a deal. So when you bring that stuff up, and whether it's new construction, pools, because it's true with a lot of things, right? Kitchen updates, flooring, you're either doing it yourself and you're going to pay full for it, or you're getting what somebody already did, and yeah, you'll get a little bit of a deal, but now you got to put it what somebody else did. What do you see most people leaning towards?
You know, especially in today's market, it's a toss-up just because inventory is so tight. And I was just having this conversation this morning with a buyer and explaining to her to keep in mind, if you're looking for a home that only has pools, the age of the home and the age of the pool, because you're going to have to resurface that after 10, 15 years. You're going to have to worry about the deck. Is it pavered? Is there grass going between the pavers? Does it need new decking? So you're still going to have to dish out money later on to take care and maintenance this pool. So that's also important to consider.
Yeah, and I like that you say that, because buying the pool itself, whether you're funding it because you've already got it in there and you're just paying a little bit more for the house, or if you're going to go buy it afterwards, that's not the only cost. You've still got the maintenance costs, right? And those maintenance costs can be considerable, and it depends on a lot of things. Again, there are a lot of variables. So listen, this is a great starter conversation that Lissette and I are having, but if you really want a pool, even your realtor is going to be a good place to start, but going and talking to a pool company and talking about what it would cost to put it in later, that's really where you're going to get the actual details, right? The good, juicy stuff that's going to get you the answers you want. But you've got those maintenance costs. I looked it up before we came on here, and you can look up different costs. And again, it depends on a million things. You can get gas, which it's a little expensive in the beginning to get that gas drop in the ground, right? But it's the cheapest way to run it's the second cheapest way to run your pool, right? Electric is really cheap to start, but it costs a lot every month to maintain that sucker. Yeah. So short-term, awesome. Long-term, I'm not a big fan of it, right? Then you got solar. Solar's a whole nother deal. Now you got attachments to your roof, and you've got different things going on there. How much do they cost? What are the repairs on that? Super cheap, but again, you've got different things involved, right? But generally speaking, on average in this area right down here, I took 34987 as a zip code. The average is $3,400 to $4,000 a month, which would be divided by 12. Man, I'm not going to show my math skills. It's about $300 a month, right, on average. And again, it could be 200, it could be 500. It really depends upon what you got going on there. So when you're looking at that price, don't just, like some of you guys are really saying like, hey, I can afford whatever your monthly payment is, $2,500 a month, and you're getting into a home that's $2,425 a month, and then you've got a $100 HOA fee, so you're already over. And then you're going to add in the maintenance costs of this pool. And a lot of people aren't thinking of that stuff. So really focus on that stuff. Lissette, are those numbers that you tend to talk about when you're going through with buyers, or at what point are they talking about all the detailed numbers like this?
I think that's the point that a lot of people don't really take in consideration. They're just looking at the nice shiny pool and the beautiful home. But definitely when you're entering into a transaction, you need to account for that expense, because you have to account always for your electricity, your water bill. Your electricity is going to jump if you put an electric water heater on that pool. So your expenses are going to go up. It's good to make sure you know what you're getting into.
Yeah. My end goal is when I'm 60 years old and I'm sitting on my boat, retired, having a good time, I want to be surrounded by friends and past clients that I worked with on real estate, and I want them to be sitting pretty. That's my ultimate goal, right? We're sitting back, relaxing in the sun, enjoying that boat. That's what I want to do. So for that reason, I don't want people to be tight on their mortgages. I don't want them to be tight on their numbers. When we're walking through, I'm a very conservative realtor. I'm going to tell you, listen, if you want to stretch, you can stretch, but I want to really tell you all of the things you want to be concerned about when you're doing that. So when you're getting a pool, you get the pool, man. I want to get a pool too. We're shopping right now. We're going to be looking in about a month or two. I'm excited. We're absolutely getting a pool, but I've run the numbers. So I know, like you said in the beginning, I might want this house, but if I want a pool, I might need to get this house so I can add the pool in there. The numbers are still hitting, and they're hitting comfortably, right? All right. So I think that's a great point. Anything you want to end with when it comes with a pool?
Listen, we're putting in a pool now, so I'm definitely a pool person. And for me, there's nothing better in the summer hanging out at the pool or the boat and enjoying the outdoors. But in today's market, really take into consideration the inventory that's out there and also the neighborhood you want to be in. If there's not many properties out in that neighborhood and even less with pools, you might want to consider and talk to your pool construction company and find out what the numbers are putting in that pool. It might be a better option.
Great point. And I'll tell you guys too, with Grand Construction, we always work with A&G Pools. So I know them very well, but I'll tell you with any pool company in the area right now, if you order a pool, it's months out before they start. And when they start, it's another few months on top of that. So if you're thinking about a pool, really make sure you've got that timeline drilled down and you've had that great conversation with your pool company. Lissette, I appreciate it, man. I hope you have a rocking day.
Awesome. Nice being with you, Joe. Bye, everybody.
All right. Take care.